What's going on, you guys? I wanted to give you a quick thought today as I drive into the office in regards to responsibility and personal accountability. As you might have discerned from some of my episodes, like one of the most recent ones, the man versus the work, I am pushing really hard, and I almost said like these days, but the reality is my default setting is going hard. Like if there was a basketball phrase that would describe how I roll, it is going hard in the paint, because I'm a workhorse type of guy, and like there's a blessed version of that where work is diligently done, missions are moved forward, and so on and so forth, and to the point to which it is actually something that God has set me aside to do. It is that well done, good and faithful servant type life. However, I recognize that there's always a good chunk of what I'm about that is based on my own personal ambition. And it's the thing that's so tricky about it for me is that my ambitions aren't for myself in the sense that like I want to make more money and I want to do this amazing thing, yada yada yada. My ambitions are about progress and success, but not in a standpoint of pointing to myself and just making myself thrive. I want to see progress in the church that I lead. I want to see growth in my own personal development, growth in the micro church that I'm a part of, and so on and so forth. And I think while it sounds righteous, right, I think there's a definite layer to which those ambitions are still about me, however, where there's something that I believe that is being communicated to myself, I think, about my worth that I need to address and I need to deal with before the Lord, believing that if this thing succeeds, this says more about me. If this thing grows, this says more about me. And I need to kill the about me and really make sure that I'm focusing on the Lord and the acceptance I have in Him, my identity in Him, and how just because I am His, that is enough. I am a son of God no matter what else is accomplished. That mantra, those meditations are what I need to continue to chew on and dive into. And still I find myself slipping into this ambitious drive to make some things happen and to achieve whatever the tremendous goals are that I may have, that are constantly shifting, that are constantly evolving, that are always becoming more and more and more. And one of the reasons why I decided to record this episode is I saw a great quote, and I don't know if this person was quoting someone else, but I follow a writer on different social media networks, Jeff Goins, and he posted something to the effect that said the opponent of greatness isn't good, it's more. And I was like, whoa. The opponent of greatness isn't good, it's more. And that quote was so good because the thought for me in my mind was that the opponent of greatness was good because complacency would often be the reason why things would not become great, because I just get satisfied with them being good, right? And I read a book by Jim Collins called From Good to Great. Great book, Good to Great. But what this spoke, man, was really, it spoke directly to the issue that I struggle with, which is always wanting more. Doing more, adding more things, more. And the truth is, when I was stepping out of leadership at the last church that I was a part of, the heart that I had was wanting more of God. And that God was telling me there's so much more than what you've experienced in this lane of the faith. I want you to open your mind, expand your understanding of who I am and what I can do. But the problem is, I've now attached that there is more to all the things that I can accomplish, which that's great, right? You know, sis boom rah, way to go, you can do more. The problem is when you try to actually do it all, every thought, everything that pops into your mind, that the pursuit of opportunities can be crippling, because it prevents you from actually becoming great in anything that you might actually be set aside and called to do. So that understanding that I have of pursuing more needs to be squashed. And like, my first thought is always, okay, well, let me scale back this, scale back that, which I should. But the reality is, I need to get to the root and deal with the cause. And the cause is whatever's inside of me that is telling me I must pursue more. That right there, I need to surrender to the Lord. And I share all of this today because I hope that will encourage you to do the same if you're someone who maybe struggles with overwork and ambition. And actually, that was not where this conversation started, so we're going to bring it full circle. Today I said we were going to talk about responsibility and accountability. So we ended up talking about work and ambition. But for me, they're all intertwined, because what my problem is with that issue of overwork and ambition, that I found myself when sharing this to some folks, actually in the microchurch gathering that I was a part of, I heard myself saying, I'm overworked, right? And it's like, oh man, that sucks. And it's not that statement is false. The problem is, it's important. Like, I'm a former English teacher, and people call it semantics, but to me, the way you say things matter. When I heard myself say I'm overworked, what I heard myself saying is, there is someone on the other end of this that is driving me, that is working me hard. And in former seasons, I thought it was like the old church world and their pursuit of the yada, or the day job and how they want me to do X, Y, Z. The truth is, I overwork. I work myself farther and harder than I should. I am the one who goes hard in the paint. I am not a workhorse that's being driven by an external force, but I do this to myself. So I wanted to take personal responsibility, come on somebody, for the state that I'm in, the fact that I work myself too hard. And as soon as you can make those language shifts, I believe you can start to think about your issues that you're dealing with in a different light. Because I'm overworked, what that says, the next thought in your head is, I need to get out from under whoever's overworking me, right? And so then those thoughts become escapism. Like, let me quit this job. Let me quit that ministry. Let me run out of this thing. Let me leave that thing. And if that's what's happening, the problem is, it wasn't those things that was doing it. If you got it right, you could recognize it was you. And this, I'm talking to me here. It was me. I am overworking me. So it's not that I need to like focus so much on getting out from under certain things, but I need to like recognize, yo, you're holding the whip. Put the whip down. Put the whip down. Hold yourself accountable for the things that you actually can control. And trust me, while we are not sovereign, we are not in control, God absolutely is. There are plenty of things that you actually do control. The decisions that you make, so many times people say, well, I didn't have a choice. False. You always have a choice. Doing the right thing versus doing the wrong thing is a choice. The choice may be a really difficult one. The choice may be an seemingly impossible one. Yet and still, the choice is yours, and you need to own it. Own the impact that that choice makes for you, in the world and in your own life, and then hold yourself accountable to that being your choice. And now, what needs to change if you want to do something different? If you want different impacts, maybe you need to, make different choices. So I say to myself, Armand, Fury, you need to put the whip down. You need to choose rest. You need to choose patience. You need to choose trust. You need to choose whatever God's plan is for the working out of your ministry and your media production company and your progress at the day job. Those are all the things that I'm doing. I need to choose submission to God's authority. So that's the thoughts here. So it's not just about responsibility and accountability, but it's also about work and ambition and all of it, you guys. We need to recognize who's in charge. God is on the throne, and yet he's given you some responsibilities, some things that you are in charge of. He's given you some things to have dominion over. And don't surrender those in your mind or in your spirit to anyone else here when they belong to you. And surrender and submit it all to God the Father. All right, you guys, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, like the video, do all those things, and I'll see y'all back here next time. Peace.